Okay, let's get into it. Scorpio season is massive. On the 23rd, the sun moves into Scorpio. Also, Venus moves into Scorpio. Saturn goes direct. And then on the 25th, we have a partial new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio. I'd go so far as to say it's momentous. This is a bit of a portal. We really need to pay attention to the energies at this time. We got dark energies, we've got light energies. This is an all signs reading, and we're going to look at the dark energies, the light energies, relationships, love, destiny, channeled messages, spirituality, anything that we need to know to get us through this season. Okay, it's big. Hold on to your hats. Okay, so this is a general reading. It won't resonate with everybody, but if it really turns out to be your story, and for some of you it will, I will do an extended reading, and the link will be below in the description box. In that, I will look further at the love energies and also individual star sign energies. Woof! Are we ready? Okay, let's just throw a couple, oh my God, a couple of cards to start us off. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot to begin with. Got to at least start with the light, haven't we? And I love this deck anyway, and so do you. Okay, let's have a look at these two cards. Straight in, we are looking at the Knight of Cups, and we're looking at the Wheel of Fortune. Woo! Apologies for the camera. Okay. Knight of Cups is about our romantic relationships in particular. Okay, somebody comes forward and they've kind of made up their mind. They've decided what they're going to do. They've decided to move forward. They've decided to step up. Now, with all of the Scorpio season that we've got, it's about desire. It's about deep, fundamental desire. That's what Scorpio is about. It's what it rules. And desire is not always fair or pretty, is what I'm getting, okay? Especially with humans, you've heard them say, or I think it's Shakespeare say, all's fair in love and war, okay? And I'm saying desire is not pretty. Let's make a t-shirt for that. I'm getting for this Knight of Cups, although, you know, he looks really dishy and he's coming up with the flowers that aren't the garage flowers. We've talked about this before, a decent bespoke bouquet. And I talked about this in another sign, you know, he's brought a picnic, he's brought a bottle of wine, and I'm always fantasizing that there's some balsamic vinegar and some extra virgin olive oil and a crusty tiger loaf. That's what would do it for me. Now you know how to seduce me, people. Even though the card is gorgeous, the horse is gorgeous, this guy is pretty gorgeous. What's going on in love for this time, and probably for some of you, is messy, complicated, and very deeply held in the desire. Okay, your desire, their desire. We got no eye on fairness here. We got no eye on being polite. We've got no eye on what it means to be, you know, to show up and do the certain protocol. This is raw. This is raw stuff. So expect to have those feelings. Base feelings, dirty feelings, however you want to put it. Accept all those feelings within yourself, and somebody else has those feelings coming towards you. There's a situation for some of you that maybe has been scrappy. It maybe has been unfinished. It's been a bit ugly. And for some of you, there's been a situation where Saturn going direct now makes people motivated in a way that they were not quite so motivated before. So if somebody wasn't stepping up, Saturn is the planet of stepping up, doing your obligation, coming forward, making something happen, being motivated. All the things that we're lacking when it's retrograde and we're kind of feeling like, oh, I don't know, you know, we have the intensity of Scorpio coming up with this Knight of Cups, and we have the can-do attitude of Saturn. Some of you, there's going to be some pushy people who maybe you've said no to before, you know, people you may have thought you're no good for me, but God, do I fancy you, whatever it is, popping back up to say hello. popping back in your DMs or your inbox or whatever it is. People also will be realizing there's a lot of reality about Scorpio energy, and there's nowhere to hide. And this works in two ways. On some sides of the coin here, you've got people realizing what people mean to them and meaning to stop at nothing to make sure that person can hear it and get their message across. And that's the thing that's not very pretty, but could be quite, interesting. But we also have people on the other side of this coin realizing that this might not be enough for them, even though there's all this desire and there's all this energy flying around and there's all this kind of mess, but actually they can't sustain it. You can't keep going with it. You just think, maybe there are the seeds of being done in this Scorpio season for some of you. Now, we've got the Wheel of Fortune here too. Right across the board, love, relationships, destiny, fortune favours the brave, and you can't help yourself but be brave in Scorpio season, because Scorpio season, and with the partial new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio, it's so strong because it's like being exposed to the elements. We're exposed. We can't hide behind our normal safety mechanisms, and neither can the people that we're dealing with. And sometimes, of course, this comes off really well because things are revealed that would have remained secret. And sometimes it puts us in for some really blunt truth. I would go so far as to say the truth will set you free, but first it's really going to piss you off. But at least it sets you free. Let's have a look at a couple more cards. This is going to be big, I can tell already. Glad to see the Wheel of Fortune, because Scorpio season can get really kind of intense, and that injection of luck and the surprise factor, this is some things happening that you didn't know were going to happen. And usually with the Wheel of Fortune, it's something going your way, but this is a real shock value. For me, it feels like a real kind of, oh my God, okay, I did not see that coming. Oh, here we go. Okay. Whoa, yee. Woohoo. It's going to be lots of noises, people. Lots of noises. So, straight in, here is some of the dark stuff. We got the Three of Swords. Now, this card kind of embodies Scorpio season when the weather is dark, okay? When we're in the storm. Some of you are going to be, or maybe you're already feeling this way. You're feeling the wrench of something. You're feeling the reality of something. You're clamped down into something in a way that you can't get away from. This can be like intensity, sleepless nights, a feeling of, I can't make sense of this, but I can't stop thinking about it. Maybe overthinking, but those kind of patterns of thinking that we can't get out of, when you obsessing about something. Very scorpionic traits. Now, very important here that I am to say, I'm not throwing shade at Scorpios, because I'm, love Scorpios. My brother's a Scorpio and I'm a fellow water sign. But Scorpio is a very intense sign. And if you ever want anything investigated or researched, you give it to a Scorpio, because they won't give up till they find out, in a very quiet and systematic way. And this is good. We need this. But when we're all experiencing this scorpionic energy, and we're not Scorpios, I think if you are a Scorpio in this season, you're actually at an advantage, because you can deal with this. You can deal with this better than everyone else. It's what you've done it all your life, But what the rest of us are dealing with in this energy is intensity that's outside the box. And this is going to pull at the heartstrings, okay? This is going to let us know what our true feelings are. And they may crash into us, these true feelings, in a way that we're not bargaining for, because you can't. And again, it's about revelation and exposure. We're in eclipse season. We've got the partial solar eclipse on the 25th and the total lunar eclipse on the 8th. And in between those dates, that couple of weeks, anything goes. I don't think anything kind of remains hidden. And if you have a situation with somebody, say at work, where relationships are all, there's some tension, or if you're in a romantic connection with somebody and there's tension, or family, old school patterns of family, I mean, we all know what that's like, and there's tension and it's all been kind of kept a lid on. God, get ready for this. This is manageable and good, but forewarned is forearmed. King of Swords, okay. Some of us have been dealing with this King of Swords for quite a long time. It's come up in the love readings. It's come up in the individual monthly star sign readings. I'm getting a softer feel for my King of Swords today. The King of Swords for me is a chameleon-like tarot card that does change each reading. And I'm feeling for you today that this King of Swords is somebody who's a bit misunderstood. They are not warm and fuzzy when it comes to communicating, but they're not hiding some terrible secret. They are just difficult to know. If you are an empath, particularly I think if you're a water sign empath, because that's who it's been coming up for a lot, then, and this could be an air sign that you're dealing with because it does represent air signs, but actually King of Swords is broader than that. King of Swords is anyone who is difficult to know, who is shut down a bit, who's a bit emotionally unavailable. This is coming up for you in Scorpio season. This is coming up for you. No way to avoid it, really. For some of you, this person will step up and speak. They won't be able to run away any longer or hide it any longer or keep themselves back any longer. Let's take another card. Ooh. Hit the like button if it's resonating. Oh my God. Well, I'm loving the look of that. Do you know what I really like about this, and this is unusual for the King of Swords, is that it looks like they're leaning into him. Like if they were all sharing a bench and they'd be like lovers canoodling and he's kind of thinking, oh God, you know, but actually it's pulling on the heartstrings. This Scorpio season is going to pull on everybody's heartstrings. Now, 10 of Cups, together with the Knight of Cups, there is a potential for clearance here in terms of the love department. There's a potential here for something really, really good to come of it. If you can weather the storm in between, okay? Oof. Cripes, this has come up so much, this card. Let's just shove these up a bit. Now, what do we need to know? Ha! The moon says, what do you think you need to know? This is very mysterious. This is very deep. It's important to pay attention to the moon cycles, but it's very important here to pay attention to what's below the surface. So for some of you, it's how you get below this surface. Do you get below by doing tarot? Do you get below by listening to dreams, seeing numbers, seeing signs? I feel like for a lot of you, this is bringing in an element of magic to the whole situation. This is the veil to the 5D part of the situation. And when you're in Scorpio season, that veil is so thin. And that can be uncomfortable for some of us. It's uncomfortable for me, and I do this all the time, but it's uncomfortable for me. I like my 3D life, you like to be kind of, it's a bit like the Matrix, isn't it? I always say I take the pill that means you never find out. I'm just like, I'm good. I'll just have a burger and watch telly. I'm good. That option is kind of being stripped back. So expect hunches, Expect telepathic messages. Expect weirdness all over the shop. Coincidences, people behaving strangely, all of that stuff. But in terms of your romantic relationships, expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. And also for some of you, I'm getting, expect a message that is really not worded in the way that you would think. So in other words, it's not direct. They're not going to say what they want or how they feel. They're going to say something else. But actually behind it is the message that this is how they feel. It's like decoding something. I'm actually getting like weird old Morse code type messages coming in. God, how strange. Let me know in the comment section if you've been experiencing any of this. And let me know your situation as well in the comment section. Okay, I'm glad to see that's a very earthy card. 7 of Pentacles, thank God. Thank God for that. Whoa, hello, look at that, right under the 3 of Swords. Okay, we got the 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is when you start doing a reckoning. You start counting the beans. You start adding up whether this is okay for you anymore, whether you can move forward with this, or whether you're at a breaking point. It's make or break. Some of the makes are hugely surprising. Some of the breaks equally so, okay? It's like a massive storm. Some buildings survive, some don't, okay? 8 of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy with the 8 of Cups. Somebody walks away or distances themselves from something or someone they love because it's too painful to stay the same. In other words, you know it can't stay the same. It has to change. They know, you know, the universe knows, and it's changing whether either of you like it or not. And for some of you, it's like a ray of sunshine after the storm. The birds are singing and we live to fight another day. And for others of you, war-torn and weary, you walk off into the sunset, okay? And in this case, they've been kind enough to make it dawn. But we know what it means. Oof, yes, beautiful energy, look at that. 6 of Swords, gorgeous. So the 6 of Swords is movement. Moving from one area to another, one place to another, one situation to another. Moving from silence to communication for some of you. Believe me, when that King of Swords fesses up, when he decides to talk, it ain't pretty. It's not pretty at all. He's got no control over what comes out of his mouth. He's got no sense of planning. It's just a blurt. So for some of you, there's like a confessional feel to this. Either way, when you get the 6 of Swords, you know that you are moving from a difficult place to a better place. Now, it's not a more simple place because this is all quite complicated, but it's better. It's not as disastrous. It's not as stormy. It's not as threatening. Nice. Calming us right down at the end, right down here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles reminds us that next we have Sagittarius season. That actually this massive intensity, which I think is really going to hot up around the 8th of November time when we get to the second eclipse, that this intensity is like a 2-week, well, maybe a bit longer than that, but it's a flare-up. It's not going to stay like this forever. If you're looking to not rock the boat with somebody, maybe don't talk about any big conversations for a while, okay? You can see this energy happening in the macro around the world, and you will feel this energy happening in the relationship too. Let's take, I'm going into the Wild Unknown Tarot now. I want to know a bit more here about Three of Swords, Eight of Swords, King of Swords. Whew. Oh, Christ. Yeah, oh, I say so. Just switch that off. Okay. Oh, God. Wild Unknown Tarot. Let's just zoom down into that a little bit more. Okay, we've got the Tower. Let's just say it's kind of speaking for itself, isn't it? It's like, we're going to burn down this house. We're going to burn this tree down. We're going to take this down to the ground. We're going to raise this situation right down. That's what's happening in this season. There's no real getting away from that. And it's a good thing. It needs to happen. This situation can't stay the same. Scorpio is represented by the Death card, and the Death card is there's a full change, no holding back. Okay? Four of Pentacles, nice and stable in the middle, and God, do we need it? It's a reminder to you to steady your own ship. Sun in Capricorn energy, Four of Pentacles. Keep yourself earthed. It feels almost like, you know, this is electricity. It's lightning hitting the tree. Earth yourself. Earth yourself. Emotionally, earth yourself. Okay? This is basic emotional survival methods when something is going to hit that's going to change everything up, that's going to disturb things, that's going to bring everything out in the open. Even if it causes things to be much brighter and much better with the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Cups, it's still a situation that destabilizes what was there before. Even if you hated what was there before, you knew where you stood with the disappointment of it. Now you need to make sure you are earthed. And then look at this guy. Oof. The Seven of Swords. Just for some of you, somebody does have something here that they want to confess. And even if they don't want to confess it, it comes to light anyway. I'm not sure that the confessional stuff is entirely voluntary at the moment. I'm just not sure that it is. I'm going to take just a couple more cards of these. I'm also going to crack open some Love Oracle cards I've got over there. If I can find them. Yeah, there they are. Price of Love Oracle. Woof. Such good cards. Oh, thank God. Right, okay. Never been so pleased to see the Daughter of Pentacles, people. Hoo-hoo. Okay. Good. And breathe. Daughter of Pentacles, this lovely, soft, gorgeous deer, is telling us that our vulnerability keeps us safe through the storm. And that seems really weird because we think to ourselves we need to be protected, we need to be you know, putting up armor and making sure of this and making... No, not in this situation. It's way beyond that. Your vulnerability keeps you safe. And that doesn't mean that you don't have your borders, that you don't have your boundaries, that you don't have your strength, that you don't have your earth, that you're not rooted. And it doesn't mean that you're not... suspicious, some of you, about something, or that there's something you need to know about, but almost like you are the fox here, keeping one eye open. You can see here there's 6 swords above the fox, and then the fox is sleeping on the 7th sword with one eye open. We are in Scorpio season wise to sleep with one eye open emotionally. because also we've got this Hanged Man energy where we've got the bat. There's a feeling of while nothing is happening, everything is happening. While it's by dark, things are maneuvering, okay? The moon is very important, and moonlight is borrowed light. It's kind of the suggestion of things. It's the implication of things. It's the secrets. It's the mysteries. It's the revelations. But they're coming out in bits. They're not coming out in one great big thing. A bit here, a bit there. We need to have our antennae up. When it comes to our relationships with others, when it comes to our high emotional stakes, we need our antennae raised. But at the same time, a bit like the bat, nobody knows we're moving. We're just there. We need to be the Hanged Man. We need to be in this status, this Neptunian state of being without being, or without being too obvious, or without being too loud. It's as a Scorpio would deal with a situation. Please do weigh in, Scorpios. Leave me a comment. The Scorpios I know have the most self-control out of any sign in the zodiac to keep their mouth shut. They will. Tell your secrets to a Scorpio. Take them to the grave. That's what they're like. But Scorpios also, if they need to solve something, they're doing it behind the scenes. You know about it when it's done. This is you now. Behave like this, because you don't want to be too open to the elements here. You don't want to be too open or say too much. Somebody has something to say to you in this season. It's not, hopefully, the season of you blabbing the farm to them. That won't go well. You'll lose control of what you're saying, and it will get too emotional, and you won't achieve what you want to achieve. Let's have a look at Crystal Banner. These are the very gorgeous. I use these in my extended readings for the monthlies. The Price of Love Oracle. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? They're so classy, these cards. And look, there's a barcode there. We're going to have some Love Oracle cards as well, just to see what's going on behind the scenes and what we're dealing with. In the extended reading, I'm going to look further at the energies. I'm going to channel messages as well from your person and see if we can get behind some of these energies and get into the messy stuff, quite frankly. And I'll also have a look at the individual star signs. So we'll pull a card for each sign and see how it affects you personally with your star sign. It's going to take 3 of these. God. Definitely leave me a comment if you're feeling the intensity, okay? Oof, it's all here. This is good, actually. These cards, I'll be straight with you, right? These cards are rough. These cards can be really... This is why I use them in the extended readings, because in the extendeds, I like to get down and dirty. And these cards, they don't take any prisoners, but actually we've managed to pull 3 of the most promising and gentle love cards. Thank God for that. Right, kind of need it. Yeah, this is lovely actually. Aren't they beautiful? Okay, let's zone down. We have this very simple card here. Connection. Whatever is the situation between you and your person and what's going on with this, is that there is a thread of connection that has not been broken. Now, this could be family connection, friends connection, but for many of you, this is a relationship, a one-on-one specific person connection. There has been much water under the bridge, I think, and probably much more to come, but there is a bridge. The connection remains. Sometimes this is just a thread, but a thread that is a bit like, you know, silkworm threads when they're really, really, really strong, okay? And it's remained for quite a long time, and it will remain through this storm. Synchronicity, this is what I was talking about. And for every person, it's individual. And please let me know in the comment section what your synchronicitous Is that a word? Signs are. Do you see angel numbers? Do you see white feathers? What is your thing? And for some of you, I'm getting that you are particularly tuned into a particular person, and that you and this person have little talismans or objects in common, like an item of jewelry, or for some of you a rabbit's foot even. I mean, God, who does that anymore? I'm getting, I had this before for the love reading, I'm getting leather thong straps with things on them like a necklace. God, it's the same thing I got in the love reading, the tattoos, the leather, the old jeans, the smell of patchouli oil. I'm getting, wow. Some of you motorbikes, I'm getting boots, screwed up note, a broken chain, a little statue, an Eiffel Tower statue for somebody, a tiny one, a penny. I don't understand any of those references, but those are the ones that are shooting through my mind as I'm looking at the situation and dealing with all of the energies. And honestly, I'm going to need a big lie down after I've done this in the extended. Okay, and then we have communication. There will be communication, but there already is. With this connection, there already is. This is so weird, but it's not weird to you. You're going to fall into one of two categories in this reading. The category that thinks I need to be like, to get my head tested, and the category that's mind is blown because you're like, oh my God, this is spot on. Sometimes as a tarot reader, I'm afraid you've got to go with that because that's what I'm getting, and it's so powerful. Okay, it's so powerful what I'm getting. It's making me itch. Oh, God. Okay, I'm very excited about this. Really excited. I'm going to take, and this is a slightly lighter card, but it's Belinda Grace Love card. I just want one of these. I don't even know why I want it. God, I so hope you leave a comment about this because I'm dying to know what I'm reading. So many individual energies here. It's like blowing my mind. It really is. We get the garden. Oh my God, that's so nice. I love that card. We get the commitment. You know, have you ever, well, a lot of you will have sat and watched swans. Swans are quite dark in their energy and loyal in their commitment. That's what I'm getting, and chivalry. For the garden, I'm getting a relationship. There may be an outside space that you guys meet at, or is common to you, or even for some of you, this is old school, like an old allotment at your family home or their family home. There is something about this. It's almost like you meeting this person in a fictional garden. I don't even really understand it, but do you remember with the Seven of Pentacles underneath that we had that whole idea of what's going on with the roots, what's going on underneath? This is a glimpse into the future. Relaxing on a sunny bank, on a sunny day, in a special place with somebody that I don't quite understand. We've got commitment, but it's not particularly easy or sweet commitment. Swan's commitment is difficult. Being a swan is really hard. It looks amazing and it looks graceful. And they do mate for life, I think. And have you ever watched them guard the egg? You know, I used to watch this swan down in my house by the river. And, you know, it would be boiling hot summer. That swan definitely hadn't had a drink. You couldn't go near it with a drink. And it would sit on that egg and you'd see this sweat go down its beak. And it looked so uncomfortable and it was such hard work and it never moved. This is the grace and the beauty of the love connection with the darkness and the difficult, awkward paddling of the swan. And then chivalry, which we had in the beginning, if we look here. When you get the Knight of Cups, you get the chivalrous nature. You get somebody showing up, but it's not pretty. It's not pretty, but it doesn't have to be. Nothing will excuse garage flowers though. I just want to put that out there. I think you know me by now. Or cheap bread. It's got to be that tiger loaf. Just saying. Oh, God. Blowing my mind. Right. I'm going to go do the extended. We're going to channel messages from the person. We're going to look at what's going on behind the scenes. And we're going to look at the individual star sign as well for each of you. Wow. Leave me a comment, please. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.